When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But what when life gives you more? Well, according to Chevrolet, you then upgrade from a hatchback into a mid-segment saloon. And if you happen to be in the market looking for a budget mid-sized sedan, then we suggest that you take a good hard look at the Chevrolet Sail. The Chevrolet Sail has unassuming but good styling. In fact, the overall styling is nothing in your face, and the car won't really stand out in a parking lot for its radical looks. But once the car has your attention, you most probably stand to like it for its simplicity. Take a look, for example, at the hawk-winged headlamps, which do a good job of ensuring visual impact for the bold front styling. And then, of course, there's the double grille, which declares to the world that this one is one of the Chevrolet descendants and not a Decepticon. At the rear, there's neatness and simplicity to be found once again. The act of plonking boot onto a hatchback to make it into a sedan, well, that doesn't look like an afterthought on the Chevrolet Sail, and I really like that. The large triangular tail lamps do a good job of distinguishing this car from its near competitors from the same segment. And the boot, it's a 370-liter well-shaped loading bay that accommodates almost 2 to 3 large suitcases, or as you can see, all of our shoot equipment. On the inside, the cabin will look dull to quite a few, and that's mainly because of the sand and beige tones. And yes, the interiors of this car, when compared to the interiors of its other competitors, say the Swift Desire or Honda Amaze, will not hold much ground. I would yet run contrary to the opinions of many and say that the dual-tone interiors in this car are quite refreshing to my eyes. And yes, the cabin looks all plasticky, but then the panel fitment is good. Something else that might not be to everyone's taste in this car is where the power window buttons are placed, right above the gear shift lever. The cluster also has a digital tacho, which is again unconventional, and more so because it doesn't even have a red line to it. And again, almost all of us are accustomed of having a honk plonked in the middle of the steering wheel. Well, in this car, it's not there. Apart from that, the car's brilliant, especially when it comes to the comfort and space that it has to offer on the inside, along with very comfortable seats. Make a note though that neither of the variants come with seat height adjustability, not even the driver's seat, but it doesn't really get in my way, especially with the feature that General Motors seems to have provided me with, tilt adjustable steering. The audio system, well, it's plain looking but does sound good and also has Bluetooth audio streaming capabilities. Another nice feature that Chevrolet has really thought about is electrically adjustable side view mirrors. To speak of something that is left wanting when you're in the car is almost everyone would appreciate a metal highlighted Chevrolet bow tie, along with, of course, steering mounted audio controls. The 1.3-litre turbocharged diesel multi-jet engine that is co-developed with Fiat, and the 1.2-litre petrol engine. The 1.2-litre petrol engine mated with 5-speed manual gearbox churns out somewhere around 86 horses and 113 Nm of torque. This one though is diesel, and this gives me pure 205 Nm of torque and 77 horses. Now, one thing that you'll particularly love about this diesel car is the state of tune that the engine is at. Now, the engine is co-developed with Fiat, but General Motors have managed to make the spiky power delivery that the multi-jet engines are famous for into a power delivery that is absolutely stonking in the city and well adequate for any sort of highway overtaking maneuvers. Delivering all these Newton meters of torque and horses onto the street is the chassis and the suspension. Now, the suspension in this car is a combination of two things: McPherson struts at the front and torsional beam at the rear. And these two things ensure that the ride quality of this car is fantastic. In addition, the long travel distance of the shock absorbers ensures that the car can take in just about every other bump that you'll encounter out there on the Indian roads. Now, the steering on this car is absolutely light. So when in the city, and given how light the steering is and the stonking mid-range that the car has, the sails a better ship than most others in its segment. But its nervous high-speed mannerisms play a bit of a spoiled sportsman on the highway. So every single time the steering wheel turns, there's body roll, just like in any other car. And just like in any other good car, the body roll in this car is restricted. It is, however, detrimental if you're targeting for spirited, enthusiastic driving through the mountain roads. The Chevrolet Sail is the car that did it for General Motors in China. It's amongst the highest selling cars out there. And with 7,000 numbers sold since the launch of the Sail in India in February, it remains to be seen if GM can repeat the Chinese success story in our Indian market.